Have another short clip, this time from Patience Ogolo Dickson from Nigeria. Patience was unable to join us in person, but just quickly, she's the Executive Director of the Advocacy for Women with Disabilities Initiative, and she's sent her remarks to us, which will now be played on the screen.
Ogolo Dickson is my name, from Advocacy for Women with Disability, Nigeria. Thank you for the opportunity to speak at this global event. I'm sharing the Nigeria experience as it regards climate change and its impact on women with disability in Nigeria. Climate change disproportionately affects vulnerable populations and women with disability in Nigeria, whom are mostly at risk. Nigeria is already experiencing increased flooding, drought, food insecurity, and displacement due to climate-related disasters. However, women with disability face compound barriers like limited access to early warning system and disaster preparedness information due to communication and mobility challenges. Evacuation and emergency shelters often lack accessible infrastructure and services. There is high risk of gender-based violence during climate crisis situations. Women with disability are often excluded from climate policy and decision-making spaces at all levels, including in community and government levels. There is also loss of livelihood and reduced access to climate resilience resources, especially in the rural area. It is important for us to highlight why this is very important for us. For example, equity and inclusion. Ignoring women with disability in climate action undermines efforts towards inclusive sustainable development goals. For example, SDG Goal 13, 5, and 10. Human rights, climate injustice against women with disability violates their rights to safety, health, participation, and dignity. Inclusion strengthens community resilience by ensuring no one is left behind, even in climate adaptation and mitigation. With the support from DRF, Disability Rights Fund, and Global Greengrants, Advocacy for Women with Disability Initiative, our organization, has taken proactive steps to address this critical gap by raising awareness and organizing community dialogue and media campaigns on the unique challenges faced by women with disability in climate crisis, thereby amplifying their voice. We have also built the capacity of women with disability in climate change advocacy and disaster risk reduction, thereby empowering them as agents of change. AWWDI have also been advocating for the inclusion of disability perspectives in climate policy framework at the national and the state level. Importantly, capacity partnership building. Our organization has been collaborating and working with CSOs, government agencies, and development partners to mainstream disability inclusion in environmental and climate projects. For instance, our organization signed an MOU with Nigeria Meteorological Agency, a government agency started with the weather forecasting in Nigeria to involve persons with disability, more importantly, women and girls with disability. Also, the Nigeria Hydrological Agency partners AWWDI to include women and girls with disability in flood early warning across Nigeria. We have also engaged with the National Assembly Committee on Disability Matters and other stakeholders. AWWDI has also been involved in research and documentation, conducting needs assessment and publishing reports highlighting the living floods and other climate events. As an organization, we come up with some recommendations, and these include the following. We must integrate disability and gender consideration into Nigeria's National Adaptation Plan and state-level climate framework. We should develop climate risk information in accessible formats like Braille, sign language, easy read, and disseminate through inclusive channels. Disability-inclusive disaster risk reduction. Particularly, the government should ensure emergency planning, evacuation, and relief services are accessible and safe for women with disability. Fund and support community-based organizations led by women with disability to engage in climate adaptation initiatives. Representation and participation is very key. Women with disability should be included in climate policy making bodies and participate in environmental governance structure. And of course, research and data is also very, very key by collecting to understand the specific climate vulnerability of women with disability during floods and other climate events. I would like to conclude by saying, addressing climate change through human rights and social justice lenses is essential for promoting the rights and dignity of women and girls with disability. Including climate action can reduce discrimination, stigma, and inequalities faced by women with disability, leading to a more just and equitable society. In overall, climate action is crucial for the inclusion of women and girls with disability in Nigeria to ensure their rights, needs, and perspectives are integrated into sustainable development efforts and climate. I thank you for listening.
Great. So next, we're moving to Australia, and we've got Claire Gibellini.